Okay. So yesterday we were dealing with reading from text files. From text files. Under it, we have already seen the file should already be existing. We have discussed already. Okay. And we have discussed read method. Okay, this is done. Today we are going to see two more methods related to reading files. One is read line. Another is read lines. So as the name suggests, this reads entire file in one go. This reads one line at a time. Every time you call it, it will read one line. Next time you call it, it will read another next line. Next time again you call it, it will read third line, like that. At a time. This reads all the lines, entire file in the form of lines. It reads entire file. This also reads entire file, but not in the form of lines. Okay, and this reads entire file in the form of lines. Okay, so let's start our discussion with read line and read lines both. So I had one. So just to recap, so we had seen once you open the file, you have to close also. The file is open, a copy of the file is opened in RAM and saved in a memory location that is variable, which is labeled as F. You can give it any identifier name, valid identifier name. You can read the entire content of the data, and this read method returns the entire content of the data in the form of a string, which is captured in a variable labeled as data. You print the entire content. Okay, this file is already existing. This file is there on my desktop. Okay, so we have already seen how to get the location of the file. So देखो desktop पे मेरे है file है जिसका नाम है. We have opened the file in read mode because we have to read, and the location is there, this one. Okay, we have seen three different ways of reading. One is /, just change / in the location or the path of the file. This one. Properties में जाके you can see the path. Just change backward into /, or give two / in place of single /, or just write R in front of the string which is containing the path. So either of the way you can do, and then you can print the content. Just one more thing. If the file um, 2 for class 11. Okay. I'll tell you. If the file to be read is present at the same location as that of your Python script or Python program, then you need not mention the entire path. Name of only the name of the file is sufficient. Only the name of the file is sufficient. What I mean to say is, let's say I am creating program 2 which is there, and at the same location there is one file, let's say elephant.txt, which is containing some details about elephant, the animal elephant. Okay, so In that case, if you are opening the file in read mode using open function and bringing a copy of it in the from the memory into your memory RAM and capturing it in a variable labeled as f, so you only need to write the name of the file. If the file to be read is present at the same location as that of your Python program where you are writing this code. So you will only write the name. Entire path is not required. But the condition is the file should be present at the same location. And then in read mode, get the entire content in a variable, let's say data, and using a read method, which will be in the form of a string. And then close. We can also print that data. Great. So you can see the entire content of the file is read. So, but you can only skip it if it is present in the same location as that of your Python program. Is it clear? Kevin has joined. No. Ilham, समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was just checking if you are awake. Yeah. Take. Right. Now we will see use of read line. Use of read line. Okay. So let's say I have the file at the same location. मान लो ये file है demo.txt. दो line है. Okay. I'll try to read this, and because it is present at the same location, I need not, you can say, write the entire path of the program, a path of the file. So I'll open it. And I'll open it in read mode. Because file has been opened, so it must be closed in order to save your resources. And I'll read from this file entire thing and will capture it in a variable known as data in the form of strings. Not read. Sorry, read line ka na. So I'll use read line. And because every time read line gives me one line, so let's call this variable, give this variable a relevant name as line. So when every call, each call to read line method will return one line from the file as string. Okay, and that I have captured in the variable labeled as line. Now when you print line, you will see displays first line. See, देख रहे हो ये पहला line दिखा रहा. One thing to note here is you can see two blank lines after that. One line and two line. Can you explain why there two lines are coming? Why two blank lines are coming? Saving resources, Ankit, means just a minute. It means that you are अगर तुम उसको close नहीं करते हो, and if a program is big enough and if it is running continuously, then that part of the memory will be wasted because the file will still, copy of the file will be still existing in your RAM somewhere, and that will keep using it. Okay, that's okay, Robin. I've just started. The concept of read line, wherein every time you call the read line method, it returns one line from the file in the form of a string. Now my question is, no, there are two lines in the file, but I have read only one. और फिर मैंने उसी सिंगल लाइन को प्रिंट किया है. That single line is printed, but why two blank lines after that?
So it randomly prints a line, sir.
No, why will it print randomly? There should be some rationale.
The
देखो.
print function changes the line something like
Okay. Chalo, you have justified one blank line because print changes one line. But why is this another one?
So we have line change escape sequences.
Where?
So in the end of the line.
Excellent.
string.
Wonderful. ठीक है? So that accounts for the two reasons. You have two blank lines because this string that you are seeing is not only hello, how are you? It is hello, how are you backslash n, which you are witnessing in the form of line change. ठीक है? यहाँ के बाद तुमने enter press किया तब तुमने second when you printed or pressed enter after question mark, then only you came to the second line. So here one backslash n is embedded, which is not visible to you. Rather, it is the effect of it is visible in the form of the cursor going to the beginning of the next line. So the entire string does not only end here, but it also includes an invisible backslash n, result of which is that the program this text moved on to next line. This cursor moved on to next line. So it read the line question mark and then backslash n. So it went here. It printed till here. And then next print was because the print itself changed the line. ठीक है, इसलिए दो लाइन यहाँ पे blank आया है. Okay. What will happen if I read another line one more time? And I print again. Will it give me the same line or the next line? Will the second call to read line method give me the same line or the next line or nothing from the file?
next line, sir.
Next line, good. So this reads next line, second line. Okay, second line is displayed. Okay. And now you run it. Okay. Now, so first line along with backslash n is displayed. So one line change, and then print change the line. So it came to line beginning of line number 3. Now next line you have fetched in the line variable, you are again printing it. So it had stopped here. So it started printing the second line from here, and then print itself changed the line. But here after the second line there is no enter pressed. यहाँ पे enter pressed नहीं है. देखो line number 3 is not displayed here. अगर enter pressed होता तो 3 भी आता. 3 नहीं आया है. That means in the file does not have third line. So therefore backslash n was not printed after the second line because that was the last line, and after the last line the file does not have any enter pressed. So इसीलिए only print changed its line, so only one single line is there after it. Okay, so this is how you can go on reading. What if I try to read another line? What will happen?
Sir, error. The line doesn't exist or something.
No, it will not give you error. After you have read all the lines in the file, any further call to read line after the last line will always give you empty string. Any further blank line nahi aayega, empty string aayega. Any further call to read line after the last line is read will always result in empty string. Empty string. ठीक है? So उसके बाद तुम्हें line blank दिखेगा, but empty string is actually printed. ठीक है? So this printed empty string. So this line printed nothing, empty string, and then print changed its line. So remember, after every time, so if you want to suppress end by print, line change of print, you can write this. So you will actually see the effect now. So nothing was printed. So first line printed, line change, it came here. Second line printed, line change, it came here. Then nothing printed because empty string is there, not even blank line, blank space. So nothing happened. The cursor remained there itself. Print did not change line, and the program was terminated. Remember, तो इसके बाद जितने बार भी कॉल करोगे, further down you can call it thousands of times. Every time it will result in empty string in the line. ठीक है? Not even space. When I am saying empty string, that means nothing. Clear? Is the behavior of read line clear? That is, every call to read line will keep fetching you one line, one new line from the file till the time you have read all the lines. Further call to read line will always result in the return of empty string. ये clear है या नहीं? ये बताओ.
Yes, sir.
All of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So who all have joined today? Good. So one thing I must admit, Nanika is very punctual.
Yes, sir.
She is there in all of my classes, mostly. Good. Even Rolvin, Ankit. Okay. So if it is clear, we'll see the behavior of read lines. ये read line देखे हैं. Now we'll see read lines. RAM 3, 4. Use of read lines. What it does is it reads the entire file in one go in the form of lines. So in the form of lines, कैसे read करेगा? We'll see it. Let's say I'll first open the file and bring its copy in the RAM, which will be labeled as F in the variable labeled as F. So let's say I'll open एक file है story.txt. उसको open करते हैं. And I'll open it in read mode. File opened has to be closed. Yeah. And then I'll read all the lines in one go using read lines. Yeah. Let us print lines and let us see how it has read all the files in the form of lines. What do you think has happened?
It is read every line and printed every line within the list.
It is printed.
And printed each line as elements of a list.
Correct. So each of the lines of the file has been made one string element of a single list. ठीक है? The first line is this. देखोगे अगर if I open that story.txt, that doesn't make any sense. उसमें कोई story नहीं है. I have randomly created that file. Okay. तो देखोगे. Now here you can see every line is not this line only. You can also see \n at the end of each line. Only the last line you will see that there is no enter because that is the last word character. Y is the last character. After that you don't have even one enter pressed. So you will see that \n is not there in the last line. Other than all other lines are having one \n. So if you use read lines will return you one list containing all the separate lines of the file in the form of string elements of that list. One more thing to remember here is when I say lines of the file, it does not mean sentences of the file. Okay, one line can have more than one sentence. However, lines means one line. देखो ये one line, two line. So it is not. Don't confuse it with sentences, because if you consider sentences, then it will be based on full stop. Okay. So when I say lines, that means lines. A single line can have more than one sentence. So I'm not here intending to refer sentence in any way. ठीक है? Read lines का behavior clear है? So
Yes, sir.
good. What if I again call read lines?
Empty string.
Let us see. Empty list. First time when you have read it, the entire file, next time onwards, there are no further lines to be read. So it will return you. After that, every subsequent call will return empty list. If no further lines read, then read lines return an empty list. Take it? Clear?
Has the original file been modified?
Original file being
Modified.
Word file.
The original file, sir, story.txt, has it been edited or modified?
Edited, I'm not getting. In what sense edited? No. Reading does not make any modification in the file. अगर तुम किसी बुक से रीड कर रहे हो, are the contents is the content of the book changing? No. So reading does not change anything. Writing or appending will, but reading won't change. If you're reading from any file, no further, you can say no change will be made to the file. No modification will be made to the file. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this is fine, we'll see a few more things. Reading from the file line by line. So it can be done in two ways using read line. पहले read lines से देखते हैं using read lines. Okay, so how will you do it? I'll open the file. Let's say story.txt. And then you will read lines. Lines is equals to f dot read lines. And then what you will do? So this line is lines is nothing but a list containing all the elements, all the sentences as its string elements. So I'll use for line in lines. यहाँ पे I भी लिख सकते थे. You could have written I, but each I will be nothing but one line from the, because every time this list will return one element in I. So every time I will become one line. So I have taken a relevant name of I, that is lines. I की जगह हम lines ले लिए, and then you will print line. Okay, because line already has one backslash n, and print will also print one backslash n. So every line will have one line after it. In order to suppress it, you can press end is equals to nothing. So then you will see the exact form of the line. Is it clear how you are reading through the entire file using read lines? First, you have read lines in form, obtained one list. This list every time will give one element in line. First time when the loop will run, line will become the first sentence, because loop from the list, in the list loop, in the loop, list will return every time one element, and each of the element happens to be one line. So pehla line hai, first line came in line in the first iteration or the first loop, first time of the loop, then that line was printed. Line as a because line also contained backslash n, so line was automatically changed, so no need to change line by print. Then line became the second element, which is itself the second sentence. इस तरह करके till the time all the elements are read from that list, which is nothing but all the lines. This loop will go on. Once it is done, it will come out, file will be closed. Take 10-15 seconds and let me know, have you understood how to read from the files using line by line using read lines? Arpit? Abhay?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Good. How was your exam?
Nice, sir, it was.
Nice. You
Yeah, sir.
cross more than 95%?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Okay.
Yes.
ठीक है. Bharat, समझ में आ गया? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tejas, for some reason I always forget the name of Tejas. Anyways. Take it. Now, how do you read line by line? Just as a separator, I'll put at the rate. Has no significance. Reading line by line or using read line. Okay. We know that read line, every time it is called, it returns one line. तो हम लोग कैसे सारा line कैसे read करेंगे? How will you know कि how many lines are there? So because you don't know कि how many lines are already there, here तो list है, यहाँ तो list बन गया है, so
Sir,
till the time all the elements are exhausted, all the this will go on in loop. But read line returns only one single line as string. So and you don't know how many lines will be there in the file when you are reading it. चलो इसको दूसरे फाइल में कर देते हैं. As a separate program. Okay. Right. So file must be opened and must be closed. We have to read using read line. Now, because we don't know how many lines are there in advance, so we'll run one infinite loop. So infinite loop, मैंने बना दिया मान लो, true. Now, first time the infinite loop starts running, in the first iteration or in the first go, I'll read the first line and store its content in a variable known as variable labeled as line. Okay, so I'll do f dot read line. We know one thing. If it is a valid line or if there was something in the line will not be containing what? How do you know a line returned by the read line has not come to the end of the file?
Sir, empty
The
string.
last line.
If the line content is not empty string, that means there is something in the line. Okay, so we'll check if line that we have just read using read line is not equals to empty string, open and close, space भी नहीं देना है बीच में, single quotes open close या double quotes open close, anything will work, even triple quotes open close will work. In that case there was something, so we'll do something here. So I'll print that line, okay, and we'll suppress end because that line itself is containing one backslash n. If it is not containing, if that is not the case, that means the line that you have read is not empty. Sorry, if the line that you have read is equals to empty string, that means you should not run the loop any further. In that case, what should I do?
Break.
Wonderful. Break. There is no need to run the loop again and again, क्योंकि अगर कुछ content नहीं मिलता है, then only it will come. If there is no content, then only it comes here. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. So we'll read the line. We'll start from the file. The first line will be read. Loop will go inside. The first line will be read. If the line is not empty string, it will be printed. End will be suppressed so that print does not print its own blank line. Okay. And then, and because line will always be changed because each line will also contain backslash n because it is there in the part of the file. Okay. And then the second line will be read. If it is again not empty, it will print it. Then third line will be read. Let's say a stage comes when you have read all the lines. The moment true while loop starts again, next round of the loop starts again. This will throw or return in the line variable empty string. Okay, and in which case this statement will be equal to empty string, and this if will become false and it will come to else part. It will break and file will be closed. Loop will be terminated and then file will be closed. Not before printing all the lines of the file. ये समझ में आया कि read lines or read line in using both, how you can read the file line by line. Let me know.
Sir, so we can also do it like while line is not equal to empty string, do the printing.
While line, that you can do. What you are saying is कि यहाँ पे you can write while line is not equals to
empty string, print line, like
but
line, read the line and print.
in that case, yes, you are right. In that case, the first line you will have to read outside the loop.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Or else
What
we can
is-
give it a value like line is equal to any value, string value.
Okay, line is equals to
Any string value, then we can print it.
line is equals to why any string value. Well, we'll take it this only now. Read line ही ले लेते हैं. And then you can write while line is not equals to empty string print और फिर लेकिन then again you will have to write this part. ठीक है, something like this has to be written again. That means in that case what you will write is print line, and again you will have to write if फिर से you will have to read line. Line is equals to f dot read line, again the entire thing will have to be written. Are you getting me?
Sir, we can print it outside the first line.
ठीक है, that will save. But what if that line is not existing? चलो बोलोगे कि you will say कि it won't be visible on the screen. It won't make any difference. That's all right. But then you will write again the entire program, na?
No, sir, we can only print it. Like, if the last line comes, it'll become empty string already. So the while will break.
I'm not getting it. What do you want me to write here?
Line is equal to f dot read line.
Line is equals to f dot read line. Okay.
Then print line.
Print
Line.
line. ठीक है. This has read.
Yes, sir.
Line is printed. Line is not equal. So this will also work. ठीक है.
Sir, and end print line and empty string.
Print line, हाँ ठीक है. And is equals to that is. Yeah, that is also correct. यहाँ पे भी that will also work. Right. That will also work.
So what's the significance of this 5th and 6th line?
5th and 6th line. Because when you are starting the loop, you should only go inside the loop when the line is not empty. So for that, you will have to read at least the first line outside the loop.
So the 6th line can come within the loop.
Within the loop, yeah, it can come within the loop. You can print it here and you can comment here. In that case also, I think it should work. Yeah, this is the final refined form. Okay. You can remove this line. That is also another way. ऐसे भी कर सकते हो. Okay, but I'll prefer this one is why I'll prefer this one is all the activity is confined within the body. You are not reading partially on the top and then the rest of the lines again in here. So if you have to do something, entire thing can be confined within this block. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll give you one more concept and then I'll give you 6-7 questions which have been asked previously in the boards. Let's say if somebody asks you, tell me how many lines are there in the file.
Counter, sir.
Counter is okay, but how?
We use the for loop and the counter variable.
Counter in this previous program only, right?
Yes, sir.
C equals to C plus 1 every time you get one line here. Here you can put C equals to C plus 1, right? And outside the loop, we'll print the value. That is correct. But I'll introduce you, or rather you know that method, which will help you a lot in file handling. And that method is reading, or whenever there is a file you have to process in the form of words, that method will help you a lot. Reading the number of lines or printing the number of lines in a file. देखो वो कितना आसानी से कर देगा. It will make it very easy. Number of lines in the file. Of course, I'll have to open the file. Story.txt. In read mode, file has been opened, so you have to close. What I will do is I'll read all the content using read method. So it will read everything in the form of strings. And then what I will do is I will get all the words using split do. Anyone who remembers what does split do?
It
It
splits.
splits at the point where we have to.
Splits
It,
is
it
based
makes
on
it
based on
list,
what?
whatever input you give as argument.
I have not given anything.
Whatever argument you pass as parameter, it
I have
will,
not passed anything.
then the separator will be space. So
Space or any white space character, space or line change. Okay. So, and it will generate what? List.
it generate a list which has all words separated by commas and all words are
And each
string.
of the element of that list will be words
String.
effectively. देख रहे हो? So in this file, story.txt, wherever this is a string. So split is a string method. String पे काम करता है. So data is a string which is containing the entire file in this string format only. Okay. So that string, wherever space is, wherever white spaces are encountered, white spaces include space and line change also. So this thing, or here the line change. So everywhere it will be acting like a cut. It will make a cut here, it will make a cut here, it will make a cut here, here. So before each slice, it will make whatever slices are remaining. What if there is a number? Doesn't matter. I have written book 23. कुछ भी रख लेते हैं. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? And wherever it makes a cut, the slices are converted into individual string elements. And that is effectively nothing but the word of the file. Each of the word is obtained in the form of a list, where each element is nothing but the word of a file. Okay, and the cutting or the splitting has been done on the basis of space or line change. So देखो 23 भी string बन गया. Ankit, clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, because my aim was to print the number of words. So what I'll do is I'll simply, can you tell me how to print the number of words now? I'm sorry, print the, number of lines बोल दिया था मैंने. Number of words. क्या करेंगे? How will you print the number of words in the file?
Len.
Counter, sir, for the list.
Len. Counter कर सकते हैं. That will be
Yes.
longer approach.
Yes.
Len of words. तो देखोगे 37. Right. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So this is how you can do. Now there are certain questions which you are going to solve on your own. I'll just help you out with a question. No. Just a minute. Yeah. These are the questions. I'm not sure if I will be able to make multiple select here. Oh, yeah, maybe yes. Let me see if it will allow me to paste in a different. No, it did not allow me to paste. Give me a minute, one call is there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send those files. I think I'll not be able to paste it like that way. मैं वो questions को एक PDF में उसमें करके I'll send you. तो make sure you try those questions. बहुत interesting है. Board के questions हैं. All the questions are from boards, and hopefully you all will be able to solve it. ठीक है? चलो, we'll stop here, right here. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.